Have you ever wondered how to make learning more fun for your child? Do you ever worry that the things he learns while sitting at a table won't be very useful? There is a way to make learning both fun and meaningful for your child. In this episode of Behavior Nation's Caregiver Education video series, we will talk about natural environment teaching, also called NET, which lets you teach your child all kinds of skills in a fun and natural way. We'll talk about what it is, why you might want to use it, and how it's done. Then we'll look at some examples of NET in action. So what exactly is NET? Learning happens in natural environments. Teachable moments are captured or contrived. NET can happen anywhere, in the home, on the playground, even at the grocery store. New skills can be taught, and skills taught in more structured situations, such as in a discrete trial format, can be practiced and generalized. Why should you consider using NET? Children learn by playing. This type of instruction is often play-based. NET captures your child's interests. Children are having fun and they don't realize that work is happening. Skills are taught in the environment where they are typically used, which promotes generalization. So how do you set up an NET lesson? Anything your child enjoys doing can be turned into an NET lesson. The lessons are embedded into the activity, and reinforcement occurs naturally. Opportunities to teach a skill or a concept are captured or contrived by you. Here is an example. Perhaps your child enjoys playing with blocks. While playing with blocks, you might teach attributes. Give me the big red block. What shape do you want? You could also teach imitation skills. Watch me, I'll show you how to build a house. You can teach communication. You might have the block that the child wants, and the child asks, "Can I have the yellow block?" You could also teach categories. Let's build a barn. Which animals will live in our barn? Here's another example. In the grocery store, you could teach your child how to follow instructions. You might ask your child to find the cereal or pick out 2 apples. Your child can also practice communication skills in the grocery store. He might see a favorite snack and ask you for it. Practice safety rules at the grocery store too. Your child can practice staying near you in the grocery store or not talking to strangers. Your child can also practice saying hello and goodbye, for example, to the cashier at checkout. Here's one more example. While blowing bubbles, you could teach motor skills. The child can practice twisting the container top open, holding a bubble wand, and tracking bubbles and popping them with the wand. The therapist could also teach imitation. You could say, "Do this," while forming your mouth into an O to blow bubbles. The child gets to practice communication by asking for what he wants. He can ask for more bubbles, for example, or ask to hold the bubble wand. You can also teach attributes while blowing bubbles. For example, you might tell the child, "Get the blue bubble container, get the big wand, or pop the biggest bubble." Blowing bubbles can also be a great way to teach taking turns. For example, the children can take turns blowing the bubbles. What about reinforcement? How can you make sure your child is learning the right things in the natural environment? In NET, reinforcement is embedded into the activity. This promotes learning and generalization as the child learns skills that will be reinforced even when parents or therapists are not present. For example, the reinforcer might be access to preferred items. During an art project, you can be holding the paint. The child asks for blue and receives the blue paint. Reinforcement can also be social attention. While playing with trucks, you ask the child, "What are some other things you can ride in?" And the child says, "Cars and buses." You can provide social reinforcement by saying, "Those are good answers. I also like to ride in trains." Reinforcement could also be in the form of access to a fun action or movement. At the park, you could sit at the top of the slide with your child and say, "Ready, set." When your child says go, you can both slide down together. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this information useful. If you have any questions, email us at info@behaviornation.com or call us at 844-262-8466.